talking about the latest tragedies on the news.
Yeah, well, there's really three. If you stretch back in history, a month or two, there's three. Two real recent and one not so recent. The one not so recent was the Muslem TV producer in Wisconsin or Minnesota, somewhere there, where he decapitated his wife in the TV studio. And the irony of that was the TV channel was dedicated to enlightening Americans as to the nonviolence of Muslim Islamic religion.
Yeah, they were promoting peaceful Islam.
Right.
Yeah.
And then of course the now infamous Tony on YouTube, who I actually had some minor interactions with in comments. He killed himself, and he was a self-proclaimed Christian, and he killed another YouTuber. Her name was Asia, a 20-year-old student. They shared a class together. And then the other one in California was the Baptist Sunday school teacher whose grandfather was the pastor of the Baptist church where she taught at, raped and murdered an 8-year-old child. Now, I've been wanting to say something about this for a couple of days now, but there's been lots of videos done by a lot of different people saying, oh, we should just let everybody rest in peace. But I think there is something to be said on this topic that doesn't attack anyone. I'm not going to, and I'm not trying to attack any specific person, but what I am going to attack is religion in and of itself. And we were talking about a couple of different points, and they were
that the morals obviously don't come from the book, because the morality of the people who are following the religion should more adequately match what the book says to do. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not.
Right, yeah, that was definitely one point.
And so you'd think that the people who weren't following a book would be much more likely to do the things, rather than the people who are saying that they follow that book and follow those rules and live their lives by those rules.
Right. Now let's explore that just a little bit, and then we'll make the counterpoint. Now, in exploring this, if you are a Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, whatever, and you proclaim that you get your morals and ethics from your teachings, from your pastor, from your synagogue, from your mosque, from your clan, whatever, this is apparently incorrect, simply because all of those teachings, all of them, pretty much, with few exceptions, even though most of them are contradictory, we'll leave that aside, will tell you murdering people is bad. And so, therefore, you should be less inclined or more fearful of the repercussions of murder. If you do murder someone, then you should be more afraid that there's an ultimate punishment awaiting you outside of man's law and prison. Correct?
Yeah.
Now, the counterpoint to that is the simple one of the redemption, the resurrection. I'll pick on Christianity for just a moment. The resurrection of Jesus Christ paid for the sins that you perform in your daily life. And therefore, you're absolved of whatever you do if you simply count a rosary or go to confession or do this, that, and the other thing, whatever hoops, whatever religion has you jump through. If you believe in karma, then, oh, well, it's on the installment plan. My sins are on the installment plan. I'll pay them off a little at a time, which is always a silly concept, but sorry, I gotta laugh at that. But that's what it is that somebody else died for your sins, and so therefore you're absolved of whatever you do.
Well,
so when Venom Fang X, just to wrap this up, when Venom Fang X looked at his camera and he said, nobody can be blamed but Tony for what Tony did, I think there is someone else that could be blamed. And we know who that is. And what were you going to say?
The asking for forgiveness and getting absolution for whatever it is you may do, regardless of how petty or how severe, gives humans in general a free pass. I mean, our brains are wired to think that way. We're not wired to think long term.
Yeah.
We are not wired to plan on, oh, if I do this today, then 10 years from now my house is going to fall down. We're not wired for that.
Very true.
And so religion walks right in and fixes those things. Because as soon as you start feeling guilt about something, you can ask for forgiveness and your brain can let it go. And so it's a lot easier for you to go on ahead and do the things that you want to do and get permission to be forgiven later than to think about it beforehand and not do it in the first place.
Yeah.
But it's not so much a religion thing. It's a brain thing. It's a way our brains work.
But, agreed. However, the religion, like you said, does feed into it. It does tell you that that's okay. This dude paid for your sins many years ago, and so sin all you want, we'll make more, kind of thing. You know, as long as you pay the church and go to absolution classes or whatever else, pay your penance, whatever the church deems necessary, then it's okay. It's okay to sin. You're not responsible. What Venom Fang X said in his video, and I'll go ahead and put it in the sidebar, that really kind of irked me off was that no one else but Tony is responsible. No, I think society in general was responsible. I think his religion was responsible because it taught him this absolution of your sins are prepaid and there's absolutely nothing you can do as long as you don't do the one intolerable sin of denying the grace of God in your life, then anything else can be forgiven by God at His discretion. And so if that's the case, then religion may have had a definite role in the events that took place.
Yeah, and I think that also religion gives you a reason to judge others and to deem yourself more worthy than the next person, to deem yourself worthwhile and the other person not. And it doesn't matter what race you are, what color skin you have. It's a matter of which God you worship, or no God at all. And who's to say what actually spurred the actions that Tony did? But we do know he was very vocal on YouTube about his religious beliefs, and he was very set in his ways about what he felt women should and shouldn't do that came from his religious beliefs. And so if those religious beliefs weren't there, I have to think that he'd be a little bit more understanding about the fellow humans he shares the planet with.